Washington Accords. By the way, these accords I'm talking about, the Washington Accords, there are actually 3 parties concerned. The 2 are, 1, Rwanda, and DRC, of course. But the 3rd is United States, the country that hosted us, that brokered this process. They are part of it. So to have 3 parties to this process, and you expect only one to fulfill its side of obligations, I'm not sure what we should expect from that. And so that's where we are, in a sense, caught up in that. If fully implemented, this agreement will provide all parties the security that they need and they deserve, and lay the groundwork for mutually beneficial economic cooperation. Many of you here have worked with us for a very long time, and you know that you can trust us. We are reliable. We say what we do, and we do what we say. Our partnerships have borne fruit precisely because we have had an effective security policy in place continuously for the past 3 decades. Rwanda is strong and strong enough in our own circumstances. And precisely because we consider ourselves vulnerable to ideologies of violence, of violent ethnic extremism, particularly when they benefit from direct or indirect state support. We have made a promise to ourselves to never go back to the dark days. That darkness, we can't go back. And that is not something we will waver from. Before I propose a toast, I had a few things in addition to this, that I wanted to share with you. Contextualizing further the sort of complication and dilemma we face in all this. And we also understand it in a much wider context of the world we live in. There is the world of the past, and kept changing over time, and the world keeps changing. And in many instances, unpredictably. But people have to stay the course for what they want to mean and do for themselves. And that's where Rwanda is. A couple of things. Do you know those moments when you had to rest of your sleep? That moment in between when you are still awake and when the sleep is coming in, caught up in the middle. That space, some of us encounter people in our thoughts, and we have conversations. It's not dreaming, it's not in between. Some of those moments, I met some people, and they brought up this subject. It was like Paul. You are not Christian enough. Why? And that is supposed to, if I was Christian enough, it is supposed to solve my problems. Because I'm not Christian enough in this person's mind, it is supposed to create problems for me. But I asked this person, I said, what is enough? How enough do you want me to be Christian? First, I'm called Paul. I think by that name, am I not Christian? Second, I told the person a bit of my story and history. That my parents were very good Christians. In fact, they used to share part of their limited wealth with the church. I'm supposed to be Catholic, side of Christianity. They gave a lot of their resources to the church. So I said, I'm called Paul. My parents were very close to the church, so I'm supposed to be Christian enough. And the person was not convinced. And I said, I'm also, much as I'm a Christian and you think it's not enough, I can't claim to be a preacher. You don't hold Bibles and move around teaching people, because that's, God didn't allocated me, assigned me a responsibility that is different from that. So, not being Christian enough has also caused me problems. But I said, I have seen people who, I was telling that person, who claim to be that level of Christian that I am not. In the morning, they're out there shouting and yelling and doing things. In the evening, they go visiting witch doctors. I said, how do the two go together? So in other words, I was telling this person that actually some of them also tell lies under the cover of what they claim to be. They end up not being Christian enough as they thought I was, meaning not Christian enough. So that is something they needed to think about. No pretense, no, and everyone should be what they want to be. And there are other measures you can use to test the value of people. Then, in another conversation, it was, okay, put aside the Christian part. Your country, Rwanda, is not wealthy enough. You don't have enough of the resources that the world needs, whether they are minerals or forests or all kinds of things. So then I said, okay, but do I also have to face penalties for not being wealthy enough? I said, what do people do to become wealthy that I didn't do, that constitute an offense? First, I was told I was not Christian enough. Second, I'm being told I'm not wealthy enough, meaning my country. So which means the combination of two should cause some of us problems. Should cause me as a person or Rwanda as a country problems in other people's judgment. But since when did these become criteria for people being right or wrong? Or to the point that you deserve no attention from anybody. In fact, I wish I didn't get attention from such a people. That's so good. It means you do your business, I do my business. And I don't need that kind of attention. Nobody needs it. The kind of attention that reminds you that you're not this enough, you're not that enough. But that means you're paying attention to me. Maybe the less attention you pay, the better for me and maybe for you, because why should you waste your time thinking about me? Right. As I continued, one evening I was bored and consulted some of these agents of AI, the artificial intelligence, put in some thoughts and questions, and I won't tell you what I was asking. I'll tell you the answer. Given what I was asking, and the answer came out as, let me read it for you. In the jungle, a lion king coveted a plush deer, grazing unaware. The deer, blinded by sweet grass, didn't see the jaws closing in. Meanwhile, a wise old tortoise stood tall, accused of eating the king's crops. Crops the king knew were devoured by his own pride. The deer fed the king's greed. The tortoise, shoulders burdened, faced the hungry shadows dignified. The jungle whispered. One met the king's desire, the other his blame. That's where we are, but we will have our shoulders burdened and remain dignified. Thank you.